And we are live. Welcome to the Turaco Creative Cast, where we talk about comics, art, and all things creative because you can't spell Turaco without A-R-T. I am your host today, Frank Salazar, aka Captain Goggles, as you can see on my banner there. And a little bit about me. You can find all my stuff in the description below. There's a link tree, but I also have it right here. Let me just go grab that. Uh, or really, you can just go to the Turaco Creative Cast link tree, and my stuff is there, and Anna's stuff is there. And if you want to go check out the Turaco Creative Cast Instagram, we are having a Christmas Turaco art contest that started today officially. We did announce it last week, but we pushed it to today and made some changes. So all the new rules, how you enter and everything is in the Instagram, but it's also in the description below, so you can check that out. And what else was I gonna get? Oh yeah, there's my link tree. And if you feel like donating something, supporting the show, you can drop something on my coffee account. And we also have a Teespring store where you can get some pretty cool Turaco merch. And I think that's it for me. This is my co-host Anna.
Hey, I am Mask Woman, aka Anna Robb. I'm an artist, and you can find me on Anna Robb Arts at Instagram, and then just Anna Robb on YouTube. And then, of course, there's the link tree in the description and all of that.
Yeah, let me just bring it up here.
We've got our amazing guest Styx here, and we're going to be talking about commissions.
Hello.
That's right.
Hi.
All right. So, and you can find Sticks on Instagram and also on Gumroad. And there is a link in the chat to her Gumroad, so you can check out her stuff. All that stuff is also in the descriptions below, and also her website, so you can check that out. And what episode is this? Is this episode 10? I I forgot to put it on the thumbnail. I think.
I think it was the thumbnail, though. Maybe.
Was
I remember.
it? It might have been. I did a few days ago, so I don't remember. It might have been.
We'll figure it out someday.
We'll find out someday, long in the future.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's start the show. Uh, Sticks, you can tell us a little bit about yourself. Styxcolor.
Yes. Well, first of all, thanks for having me on the show. I'm Styxcolor or Eugenia. I'm an artist from Germany. And when I'm not arting, I'm in game
Guten
dev.
Tag.
Yeah, exactly, Chat. Guten Tag, guten Morgen. Here we are. I'm working freelance since 2 years. And so I have some experience doing commissions.
Mm-hmm.
All right, yeah, and that's what we're gonna talk about. I was talking to Styx a while back about commissions, and she had a lot of good information, so I wanted to have her on the show. So yeah, we're gonna talk about commissions, web comics, and cats. Oh my! So let me just go over my notes. So you said you've been doing freelance for a while, so you've done commissions for a pretty long time. Like, what's what is that like? Like, what was it like your first time when you took a commission? Like, how was that like? Because I know for a lot of beginner artists, uh, that can be scary. You
Mm-hmm.
know, even like trying to figure out what to price, what their art is worth and things like that. So like, So you can like tell us a little bit about your experiences.
Yeah, of course. In the beginning, there's a lot of confusion, of course.
Mhm.
I believe that doing commissions has a learning curve of itself.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost, you can almost treat it as an art skill in itself. And in the beginning, you will probably not know what you are doing. At least that was my experience when I started out. I had no idea how to price. I tried to look at other artists, try to compare myself, and just guess whether somebody would be willing to pay the same for me, my
Mm-hmm.
art. But in the end, it's really something, you walk the path, you have to take commissions, you have to fail at some commissions, you have to succeed at some, and then you'll get the hang of it. I for
Okay.
myself, I think commissions are about having a demand for your works, having the confidence that in yourself, and also radiating it to your potential customers, and your negotiation skills. And it's all. This sounds almost like art fundamentals. It's a lot. It's interconnected, and you can't just hope to study everything in a day. This
Mm-hmm.
just takes time.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Oh yeah.
But also, with art fundamentals, there you are on your own. You could sit at your desk and work everything down. But with something like creating demand for your work, that's difficult because it's not in your hand. You can't
Mm-hmm.
force success or somebody buying your works. So it's
Yeah. And that's
something.
what we were talking about. That you can't. It's not something that you can like push a certain way. It's like the audience has to resonate with either what you're doing or something that they want that you could probably provide. Uh, which and if you see the thumbnail, there's like a big cat illustration there. I don't know if you want to wait till we talk about that, but I mean, you were talking about that was something that you had no interest drawing cats.
Yeah, that's a topic in itself. I love
All right.
cats and I love drawing cats, but of course, um, I think there's the stage in the journey of every artist when you want to be known for something, but then something else becomes kind of the success. And
Right.
dealing with that is also something worth talking about. It just comes down to what you feel comfortable with. If I
Yeah.
would hate to draw cats, my cat art wouldn't be authentic. People would sense that, I think, if I
Mm-hmm.
really didn't like it that much. But yeah, I had the space. It's also on my Gumroad where I really wanted to make monster art take off, and it didn't. And at first, it was a catastrophe. But then I realized, no, actually, this is just another failure on the journey. It was necessary, and my next zine, which is upcoming this December, is a zine with cat art. So closing the
Oh
curve.
wow.
Mm.
That's really cool. Yeah.
Sometimes you just
And
get what works.
yeah. And like you're saying, you can't really force it. You can't choose you get famous for.
Yeah, it's the
Mhm.
audience that decides, and it's all right. Maybe this is something that we artists have to accept, that you cannot control everything. If you really are a control freak, you could use a medium like digital art, where you really can remove everything you don't like, but you just do not have any control about what the world thinks of it.
Right on.
That's cool. Yeah, very interesting.
And on the note of failures, could you tell us a little bit about what you've learned from some of those failures? Because I think really, in order to reach success, you have to take the road of making failures, more failures than you have success. But in the end, when you reach those successes, it's worth it.
Oh yeah, failure is a topic. Well, I used to be uncomfortable about this because every artist has
Mm-hmm.
a drawer full of failures. Like, every creative, or maybe even you don't really have to be a creative. Every person has a drawer full of failures.
Oh yeah.
But I learned that for every success, no matter how small it is, you must fail 9 or 10 times before that. That's about the ratio. And
Mm-hmm.
um, when my friends tell me, "Wow, you're getting so much done. You're so successful," um, I really tell them, "Yeah, that's just because you didn't see the 9 other things that I did in the same time span that didn't work out."
Mm-hmm.
And I think every artist has their own pace with that, and it's really something very subjective, I would say, because there are failures that can crush you. That's a fact. Either it's too big or too much at the same time. It can literally crush you, but other people work well when they get those little knobs on the hands and little pokes every day, like, I should do better, I must do better, and then I must proceed. It all boils down that you know yourself and you're comfortable with yourself and your way of working and thinking. And this also should reflect in your commissions and how you go about those, because not everybody is really fast and comfortable with drawing really quick sketches.
Yeah.
And other people are lost when they are to create really elaborate pieces. And this is also something that time shows when you are out there offering commissions, just being there, taking part in the art community. You will eventually know what you're good at and what you're comfortable with.
Okay. Yeah. And you had mentioned like you've done commissions that uh or sometimes when you do commissions you're gonna fail at some and you're going to succeed at some. Is there like a particular one that uh didn't work out? Like it was like it kind of like stands out as like a big failure. And
Yeah.
and Stinch
um,
Stinch also asked it.
yeah. Especially in the beginning, um,
Or Jake.
there's a good chance that you will really have a commission that goes south, like Jake says.
Mm-hmm.
It's really unfortunate. You never go into a commission, oh, I really want to fail at this. You never go into it like that. But unfortunately, it happens. And then you just should communicate well, tell the client as early as you can, be as open as you can. It's no use pretending that you're working on it or shortly before success when you're already seeing it doesn't work out. The client will not get what they commissioned you for. Um, I had my share of failures too. It happens. It's unfortunate, but it's really important that you learn from them. Um, I don't have one in particular that um, outshadows all the others, but
Mhm.
one that I still remember well, was, yeah, when a friend, a dear friend, wanted a traditional art piece from me, and I had underestimated how much I had specialized on digital art already. I I really
Mm-hmm.
did my best, but it just didn't work out anymore. And I told him, I refunded him, and um, the thing is, it's not the act of failure or just closing this chapter, but what does this mean for your future? I do not offer traditional art commissions anymore, just
Okay.
to not disappoint,
Right.
because I found my specialization elsewhere. And you don't have to offer everything,
Mm-hmm.
you, or be good at everything.
Yeah.
You get back up, you learn something, and realize that failure doesn't make you a failure.
Yeah.
Um,
And I
Oh,
kept the
that's
friend. He still likes me.
oh that's good. And yeah, and I know we've talked about this in the past. And I've said before. You did a commission for me, which I won a raffle that you did, and we were talking about how even though it was something like, for you, like you weren't getting anything in return, like you weren't gonna
Yeah,
get paid.
yeah, I
You were
remember.
still professional.
Hey, thank you. When that was your impression, it was an art raffle on Instagram, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And yeah, I actually treated it like I would treat a commission. Um, maybe it's just a habit that you want to be professional all the time, even if it's
Yeah,
nothing on the line or at that very moment, but you never know how things will work out for the future and what impression you will give to other people.
oh
Mm-hmm.
It's
yeah,
also I did not see you like, oh, maybe he gives me a commission in the future. No, I just saw you as someone who I want to make a picture for, and I want to do my best work. It's also sort of practice for me.
yes.
Excellent.
uh,
Oh,
yeah.
sorry, I clicked the wrong one. I actually have it here on the screen, so I'm gonna
Oh yeah, I can see it
show
in
it.
your goggles.
Okay, I'm just gonna turn this around.
That's
There
your
we
own
go.
character.
It's Captain Courage.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, and
Nice.
I still remember him. I really like his design, and I had fun doing the sketches and looking into helmets of pilots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, and it is a I believe it's a helicopter helmet
Oh
uh,
yeah, yeah.
that
I
I
stuck
that I
with
had
that one in
used,
the end.
which I have it in the
Yeah, yeah.
in the
I
living room.
think your original one, which I didn't know at the time, looks even better than mine, than my version. Yeah.
Thi- This one I get a like a Vietnam kind of like that type of era uh, look, which in the story which I have, I mean, a lot of stories right here. He is a soldier from around that area. I think it's like World War II era, so it's close to that era, that style. So yeah, so I really like it. Like you did a really good job, and you know, like you're saying, you treat every commission, you treat every project like it's professional. And so we're talking about this the other day, like when you treat it professional, you become a professional, and people start seeing you like that.
Right.
Mm. Yeah, but sometimes it really takes some transitional time until it's in your head as the
Oh
artist
yeah,
in question, because it's easy in the beginning. You of course are mostly practicing, and there is no demand for you. But later on, you can't just get stuck in this phase where you're, oh no, this is just for fun. I'm just practicing. I'm um,
Mm-hmm.
drawing art requests for free. I mean, you can draw as many art requests for free as you want to, but then um, this kind of can lead to resentment over a longer time when you are not perceived like you would want to be perceived, and you're realizing that you aren't seen as the professional that you would want to be seen as.
Right on.
yeah, true.
On that note,
Yeah, and go ahead,
talking about the importance of confidence, and would you like to talk a little bit about some of the tools that you can have in your arsenal that can help you be more confident and have more of a professional understanding of what you're doing? You know, like good commission sheets and negotiation skills.
Mm. Oh, that's a broad field, and I don't think that I can cover it in this short amount of time. So I'll talk about one or two points, which could also already help. It's always good when you know your market, as in what are other people advertising, what are other people buying, and it boosts your own confidence when you know what approximately artists like you would charge for whatever they are offering. It's just better for your own peace of mind that you have a picture of what you're actually doing and what you're up
Mm-hmm.
against, where to go with that, what ways already are proven, so that you just have a direction already, what you could do. And it's also related to that when you're making a portfolio to apply for maybe a studio job or some corporate gig, then you look at people who have this job and see what they have in their portfolio. It's the same principle at work, that you just know what's the standard at the moment, what to orient your own stuff towards. And what I'd also like to mention here, what can also stand in many people's way, is fear. And just on a brief note, nobody is ever fear-free usually, and it doesn't go away, and it cannot be won. You cannot win against fear. You cannot overcome it because it will return in different forms. But maybe here also the key to overcome it in a different way is acceptance. You probably will have a very subjective, very personal form of stage fright. For example, I sometimes get a bit nervous when I have finished my artwork and I'm about to send it off to the client. And it's irrational, and I know it, because if the client would hate me, they wouldn't have given me a commission at all. But there is this moment when I'm deeply concerned that the reply might be, "Oh, what is this?" Like, "Ew."
Okay.
And this does not go away. Maybe it's even part of my ritual now that I will shortly before I hit the submit button just do some deep breaths and like, okay, everything will be all right. Hey, if the client has changed, wants something changed, that's all right. That happens. But I have never received that feared "ew" as as a reply. And for other people, this might manifest differently. Maybe it's like, oh, I cannot commit to this line art because it will never be as good as the sketch. Something like.
I get that.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. Have you ever had a client that just like is making like so many requests like all the time? Like, can you change this? Can you change this? And how do you like handle that? Because like I know sometimes like
Yeah,
you want to tell them like, well, that's gonna be extra, and like sometimes they'll get upset
yeah.
or
There is a standard procedure for that. Usually you negotiate with the client how many changes are for free, or when is the amount of work achieved where you have to charge extra for further changes. It happens that the client doesn't immediately know what they want, and then
yeah,
you kind of discover it together, and usually you will negotiate that beforehand, what the client can expect for free, what's included in the base fee, and when you will charge extra. But the problem with this is it's usually not randoms or faceless corporations that commission you, but your friends and acquaintances. And
yeah,
it can be a bit more difficult to have that a position in negotiation where you really go, no, I 2 changes and that's it. After that, I will charge extra. That could be a potential trap in there, but it's there's not one way to solve it because people are different. Every client will be different, and it's just staying open to negotiate. And while I did have some clients that were easier to work with, harder to work with, um, when you're staying open, you usually find a common ground and then get through this.
okay. I'll just set this here.
Oh, that's a great cup.
And if you want to get this cup, there is a link in the description below to Anna's personal Teespring. Don't tell me. Dream Hatchling Studios. You can get that. This really cool mug. This really cool artist mug. And I am trying to persuade Anna to put this in the Turaco store, so
He's
it
trying
might
to
be
wait.
there.
I might do it.
And you can also get this really cool T-shirt that if you turn it like this, oh, you get the feeling. It's a dragon. I don't want to fall here.
Mm-hmm.
and and back to the show.
Random detour.
Yeah,
Yeah, on
A
that.
word from our sponsor.
a word from yes,
Yes.
a brief word from our sponsor, Anna Robb, and
Uh,
we got a bite, so
ooh.
it's in the description.
I'm applauding, but I have a cat on my other arm, so
That's good.
there.
And so 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 yeah, I think we talked about this briefly, but like, how do you land on a price? Like, is it just like trial and error? Or it's just like what you're comfortable with. Uh, do you ever get people? Because I know Anna has gotten this, and I've gotten this before. That like, well, it only takes you like it doesn't take you that long to do it. So why should you charge this much?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, ideally, the client pays you for uh, downtimes where you don't have commissions when you're a
Mm-hmm.
freelancer or when you're sick, and the client also pays you for all the years you needed to become that fast and good, so that you can
Mm-hmm.
offer the commission and do it in the way that you're doing it now. But
Yeah.
I understand it that sometimes clients, especially those who aren't artists themselves, they don't see what sort of work and really long art journey is behind a piece, and
Oh yeah.
um, they can be like this when they're like, I have $40, please. What can you do for for that? And
Mm-hmm.
they want something really intricate and really fast. But yeah,
Yeah.
there are different philosophies about pricing. It comes down to personal preference and
Mm-hmm.
also how important it is for you. For example, that this is something which I haven't achieved, but which waits for us all later down the road, where you have enough people who would like a commission, but then you have to decide how much is your spare time worth to you. When you're like,
Yeah.
you can only work so much, and how
Mm-hmm.
much is it worth to you to have time for other things than art. Other than that, it also comes down to you knowing yourself, how much can you do in an hour with the work you're offering,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Right.
making the rates match that. So that, yeah, I hear this a lot. Go by your local minimum wage, and then add the multipliers or whatever else you think you deserve and can take.
And double it.
Yeah. But yeah, it's also it's good to have standards to go by and rules, but sometimes sometimes it's really too complex because every commission is different.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well
Yeah.
put.
I used to do some light like landscaping, or it was like uh, like a lawnmower and a weed eater and cutting lawns. It was a friend of mine that hired me, and he was telling me how he charges. That he charges per minute. Like I think
Oh,
it's
per minute.
like $1 per minute, and like how long you think that lawn or whatever is gonna take you. And I'm talking about like basically just cutting lawns.
Mm,
Not anything like installing sprinkler systems or elaborate displays or anything like that, but like just cutting lawns. Like how long is it gonna take you? And if you tell a customer it's gonna be this much, then you have to do it within that time. Because if you go over it, like,
yeah,
well, you already gave them a price. You already told them, so
yeah,
you have to like keep it under that time. So you have to know how long it's gonna take you, like I already have like some experience.
Mhm.
And when you see a certain type of line, okay, this is gonna take me a couple of hours, so I'm gonna charge this much or
Yeah,
whatever. So like,
and that's
so,
the key word, experience. You come in into this negotiation and have enough experience in lawn mowing already that you can already see how long this might take. It's
mhm.
also, yeah, learn to be good at commissions by doing commissions.
Yeah, yeah,
That little learning curve involved.
oh yeah. Which in our contest that we're doing right now, the Turaco Christmas Art Contest, um, which I have here. I'll just go into comments because I posted it earlier. Oh, it's not it.
Yeah,
One
art
of the
contests,
prize. Oh, here it is.
art contests are a
One,
great opportunity to practice
yeah, one of
drawing.
the prizes for the grand prize and the for the first prize and the second prize is a sketch card commission sketch by me. This is actually the first time I'm doing commission, so this is actually
Oh
practice for me.
wow.
And I've done a couple of sketch cards, it's just here and there, just practicing. I just had some here. Uh, well, we're somewhere.
Mm.
Well,
Yeah, it's a good way to get
uh,
started.
which actually I have the cards here. Well, I mean, technically, this was a sketch card that I did first, and then I just digitized it. So I've done like little things like that, just practicing here. So like I want to get better, and so that's why I bought these. And I thought, this contest was actually hopefully it's good practice. So whoever wins those prizes, hopefully you like it. But so it's actually my first time doing something requested by someone. Uh, so it's a little scary for me because like it's the first time I'm actually taking a commission.
Getting experience.
But yeah,
Mhm.
just
Yeah,
putting it out there, getting experience.
yeah, and with commissions, it can be like this. Maybe like even with other long form art forms, the commission that there will be a point somewhere in the middle probably, or against the end, where the commission will try to lure you to give up on it, and then you
Mm-hmm.
just don't give in. And even if you think it's maybe 60-70% of what you could do, just don't give in, just finish.
I get
All
that too with
right.
college homework.
Oh yeah. I think Stephen Pressfield calls this the resistance in his books.
Mm-hmm.
And the resistance
Yeah.
is always out there for us. Otherwise, everyone would be super successful creators.
Right on.
Which, that's in the War of Art also. Which, where's my copy? Oh,
So on this note, this is a bit of an open discussion topic, but
mhm.
advertising, how do you get your name kind of out there, especially if you're really not a known artist to begin with and you're trying to take commissions, but you need people to know who you are and what you do.
Um,
Okay.
this is something I have to work on. This is advertising. I focused on getting good at my craft for so long that
Mhm.
sometimes it's hard to put in the time into other fields that you need as well. I'm not saying that it's more important to be good at the craft than to market yourself. It's both important because you want to have something to sell and you want to have someone to sell it to. At least at the moment, I go by the proven ways, mostly social media.
Okay.
Mhm.
And to me, my discords are very important. And it's not just because I'm scouting there for people who might need my services. I just appreciate the online art communities across several discords and the variety of people there. and it's really good to stay in touch.
Definitely.
And about advertising, when it's a proven way, it's great to start there, to have a direction. But there's also this, well, if everybody knows that you post your commission sheet on Reddit, you can be a great artist, but when everyone does it, you might still be drowned out just because there's so many people to choose from, and there are so many posts at the same time. And there isn't really one strategy with which you rise above everybody else. Maybe it's just a suggestion to be patient. There is an audience for almost everything, but sometimes you have to be patient and wait for a while until they have found you or you have found them.
Right, I definitely agree. The mug is mine. Awesome.
It's mine right now.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
also we live in actually great times for artists in a digital space. We have new platforms popping up all the time.
Yeah.
And you could be lucky with any of them.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh yeah, and also ways to advertise. Like, I mean, this is one of them. Podcasts like this, getting your name out there, which which is how I got. I started getting myself out there too. On the original Artcast with Jeff Lafferty, and just popping up on there and doing art and stuff and putting my name out there. And so yeah, so there's different ways to just put yourself out there. Whether it's I mean, there's like new social medias popping up. There's like new ways to put your work or get clients.
Yeah. Or if you're inclined to do so, go back to older works with aren't as older ways of doing things that aren't as popular anymore, but still have people who are interested in them. No one prevents you from having a really old-fashioned printing press at home.
Oh yeah.
That's true.
Oh, yeah. This is a cute cat.
He returned. It's Sugar.
Yeah. Sugar.
Okay, I will not say. I will not sing "Honey."
I don't want
this podcast to get copyright striked or something.
Oh boy. Yeah, I have like a little list here because we were just talking about making your content available. And hi, Sketchy.
Hey, Sketch.
And there being an audience for pretty much anything. And so if you're not getting engagement and you're not finding that audience, you'll probably want to start looking into your content availability, your content quality, your delivery, your interaction with your audience. You know, if you found an audience. The respect that the audience feels that they get from you, and then if the audience can trust you.
Yeah.
All those things kind of play in together.
And they have to see that you have actually have something to offer. So just putting your stuff out there.
Yeah.
All right. And you've mentioned in the past before, I think you've mentioned it in the AAA Discord, the 100 days of making comics. And so how has that helped you?
Oh, yeah. I think that the 100 days of making comics was my personal initiation to comic making. No, sort of. I have made comics as a child, but then moved away from it over the years. And I wanted back, and I wanted to see whether I have it in me to make comics at all. And I think the 100 days of making comics is a great challenge to test that, to test the waters. Literally anyone can do the challenge. You do not have to have any comic experience prior. And it's important that it's 100 days.
I'm living proof.
Because 100 days are much more longer than pure willpower will carry you. So if you don't find anything um, in yourself that motivates you to do that, you will give up. But then you will know there's nothing that motivates you to do 100 days of making comics, and then it's probably not worth making a habit out of it. For me, I did not. I did not see this coming. I returned to my roots. As a child, I was making little comics on post-it notes. You know those little paper paper notes near the telephone. And I returned to that. I set out to do a comic. The scope was much too big. I realized I had some technical and crafts issues where I was not as good as I thought I would be. And then I kind of stepped away from this, made some small comics within my blog, and then started out with a new, less ambitious webcomic on post-it notes. And you can read this comic on Styxcolor.com. Literally, when you go to the starting page of the website, Street Prey. I wanted to keep it simple, and for the first chapter at least, went back to colored pencil on post-it notes because that's my comfort choice of medium.
I saw that.
Yeah, and then for
And
practical reasons, I changed to digital later. When I saw this was this would take a while, and I decided I would be willing to go this way until the end.
and that's your web comic, and it's in an interactive web comic also.
Yeah,
very cool.
Yeah, this is a very unique project, and I am really glad I did extensively art blogging for my 100 days of making comics. Even if I don't remember all the details my blog does, how it came to all of this, I would not suggest to other people to do a comic in the same way, because it's just, I'm coming from making comics on post-its, and it's me, and I'm feeling comfortable with the formula that I found. I'll be drawing a panel a day at least, and sometimes leave detailed choices to the audience where they can on some of my Discords and on Instagram choose between two options how the character should proceed in the situation. This comic is based on a story I'm working on since 2011, I think. And it's yeah, and I didn't have a way to express the story to get it out there, but now I found one, and I have a storyline in mind, and I also approximately know what happens to the characters, what they have in them, and how this might end. But the choices matter because there are so many details that are open, and yes, there could be multiple endings possible. So I can't even spoil it because I don't know what the audience will decide in the end. And so far I'm enjoying this project. I successfully finished the 100 days of making comic with it. Realized yes, I can do comics. And
nice.
Yeah, thank you.
Big congrats.
Yeah, and I'll be focusing on this comic for I think for a long time to come. One panel a day works for this comic, but sometimes it might be a bit too slow, and I can understand it. So I'm trying to balance it between like comfort for me because it's just one panel a day, but it's daily, so daily deadlines. And I can't really draw much ahead because when the next interactive choice is there, I can't just pretend that I already know how it ended up and draw the future that is uncertain.
So it's like a choose your own adventure, but you're actually coming up with the next step, the next panel as you put it out.
Yeah, and I can see this might be dangerous because sometimes your first thumbnail or idea might not be the best one.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mhm.
I make at least try to at least make some sketches, but I realized for myself um, this helped me to develop my comic making skills tremendously, because I am forced to solve problems daily. And in the beginning, I might have done it badly sometimes, but nobody will know except myself. And in the meantime, I'm getting better and better also at knowing myself how much I need for a panel, how much this and that specification might cost me in time, in research. And maybe I see this as one big playground for myself where I learn and experiment with the basics of making comics, and then I can apply it to different projects and do it right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know Stinch, who's in the audience. He will not like to hear this, but my script is very how would I say it, basic. So there are times when I have no idea what I'm doing and it still works out. But this is
Mm-hmm.
just because it works in this specific context, in this specific project with me as the creator, because I really know the world and the characters and the story very, very well.
Yeah.
So I can improvise, but I would not recommend this as, yeah, slop. Yeah, he said it. Yeah, Stitch is not happy. Yeah, but I'd put it like this. Um, when you're in the very beginning and you want to make everything right, you will most likely be paralyzed. So I chose for myself to make it bad, but make it. And over the time, as I solved problems and some problems just didn't reappear, I had time to tackle different problems. And
Yeah.
there was even a moment in time, I remember this early on, where I learned what flatting is and what flatting means. I knew what flatting is before, but then I experienced what it means and how to plan for it and how to optimize it. So this is all not that you get good overnight, but you solve many smaller problems and then you're better off overall.
Yeah. Okay. And going back to what you're saying about your script, that it's basic. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the same in I mean, when you're doing comics. I mean, that's actually writing your script is a part of it.
Yeah.
But when you're doing the panels, you do a basic sketch. You do something simple
Yeah.
that it's gonna give you an idea, and it's up to you to like utilize it and grow from it. Like I have here uh, some very simple basic thumbnails on my notebook.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but and usually the way I would do it, I would just kind of come up with one page at a time. This time I did all of them, so I had the entire story already basically planned out. And even then, I went back and I was as I was working on them, added more and changed a few things. That story is here. So like from these little basic, you know,
Mhm.
basic little drawings, you get this.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah, but
this is
you
the
didn't
holiday
translate
nine vote.
100%, right? So you almost never translated 100% of your thumbnail to the final picture, right?
Yeah, there's actually like some of the panels here, but these last three panels, uh, they're from here. They're um, it's somewhat the same, but it's like I mean they're totally different. You can it's the same concept, but the way they're drawn and even the setting is different from what I had planned. Uh, and but I mean that came from actually doing the actual work and
Yeah.
fleshing out
Yeah.
the story as I went along.
And that's totally okay. I change a lot as well on the go, and I live with the uncertainty. I know this sort of uncertainty when you either don't have everything figured out, or when you realize that what you planned for is not the best solution, and then you follow your intuition and go for something else. That can be anxiety inducing. I get that, but also at the same time, it can enrich your creative process.
Oh,
It's again a matter of personal preference. Some
Mm-hmm.
people want it planned out really clean in the beginning, but I found that this is not my personal preference. I'm also so much so the visual type that to me even my thumbnails are more important than my script. Um, because I tend to solve my storytelling problems rather there than in the words.
Fascinating.
yeah. We got a little discussion here in the comments, so let's just air out people's
Yeah.
problems. Cybern says, I am paralyzed often in process. Basic, let me go to the next one. Basic sounds easier to letter more me. Also, I figure out my writing on the page, but I can always change the composition later. Uh, lettering, lettering dialogue. Yeah,
Mm.
you gotta find the process that works for you.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And
and
if it worked once,
sketchy.
you don't have to stick to it forever. You can change. Your preferences can change, so that's okay as well. Keep experimenting, keep developing.
Oh yeah. And Sketchy says even he's also too busy these days making mini comics, so he's getting stuff out.
Mm.
He's designing matters. So yeah,
Yeah.
good job, Sketchy. Uh, Okay, so yeah. Um, so okay, so that's our segue to our we talked commissions, we talked web comics. That's the segue to our last topic, cats.
Mm.
Yeah.
You mentioned you're doing Zion cat illustrations, so you can
Yeah.
elaborate a little bit more on that.
Yeah, sure. This year I started a project in spring when we had the first lockdown. I wanted to cheer up my friends and family, so I drew a lot of palace cats.
Uh,
And focused on one cat in particular, this
I gotta get
chubby
my cat
and
out.
sometimes ill-tempered Manul. And I tried to do daily illustrations, which went well for a while. I did need only some breaks, and I'm in the third season now.
Oh, that's cool.
I started this to bring a little joy in the world, and it seems to have worked out. And I've collected the first 30 of the cats, which you can also see on our website. Go to styxcolor.com. The Palace Cat pictures have their own page as the Manul project. I have taken the first 30, slightly brushed them up, and I should put the new zine on my Gumroad this month.
Good.
Awesome.
Also,
That's
yeah,
good. I can't wait to check that out. I was looking at your illustrations, your Mono illustration, which I used one on the
yeah,
thumbnail, the which is actually your little icon here. So
that's
it's good.
Moonul.
Munu.
Mhm.
Uh, so yeah. So is that's not a cat, is it? That's like
Yeah, it's a
like
palace cat that's a special breed of
Mm-hmm.
wildcat. It's a very specialized hunter in the tundra and icy regions. Unfortunately, it's become a rare animal these days.
Mm-hmm.
But
oh wow.
they have very expressive faces, and that's great to achieve humor.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Is that the same kind of cat that's that meme Grumpy Cat?
Oh no, Grumpy Cat is a domestic cat, and this is
That's
sort of.
I did not mean to offend cat lovers. I'm sorry.
No, no, no. Hey,
So no, how dare you?
cat lovers. I think cat lovers are pretty forgiving.
My cat's trying to steal my thumb drives right this second.
Is that sugar?
Yep. I
Sugar,
mentioned before that
sugar.
he likes to take things off my desk.
Yeah. I better stop singing. I don't want to get copyright struck.
Yeah, and again, I guess this is a red line through my work. I really love to experiment. So the Manul cats currently have a digital art exhibition within
Oh, cool.
a 3D world. Yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
an art exhibition in a video game, Your Land. That's, by the way, the first game my husband and me built and released recently.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and it's all pretty new, but exciting. And um, I I really like how it turns out. I did not go into this all thinking, oh, Manul will be a great franchise, and I want animations and the comic book series and whatnot. I
Yeah.
was just doing it for the fun of it and to cheer the people in my life up.
Mm-hmm.
There's room.
Nice.
There must be room for projects like this as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Definitely.
yeah. It's sometimes it's those little side projects or fun projects that become more meaningful and are the ones that actually are
Yeah,
more fruitful.
you never
Yeah.
know. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you never know what takes off in the end.
Yeah, like I was showing the Captain Courage story. This is actually, I think it's my second Captain Courage story that I've done, and Anna has her copy of the Holiday Nine Votes. That was something I just came up with. I didn't even have the name. That was just something uh, I had I had come up with. A friend of mine, and I've mentioned this before. I'm part of a veteran ministry, and one of the things that we would do Christmas toy drives, and I had mentioned that um, what if we dress up? And it all came back to me. I was the one with the idea, so I was the one that had to dress up. So so I was just coming up with something, and like, well, I'll just get some costume, and I said, you know what, I can probably get a Power Ranger costume, and it came from there to just adjusting it, modifying it, and later that became Captain Courage. Just like slowly just adding on to it, taking things apart, so now it's its own thing. Then from there, like, okay, what can I do with this? Because I don't want it just to be a costume I put on once in a while. I want to do something with this persona of this character because it seems like it wants to do something. Like there could be more to it, and that's when I decided, you know what, this would be a comic. And so I did the wonders of making comics, and that's when I joined the AAA Discord, and which do I have here? The first 9 vote. Uh, it's here somewhere. It's the first 9 vote. That's when I actually made the Captain Courage comic. Uh, and we're talking about the 100 days of making comics. I've never completed the 100 days of making comics, but I've always completed my comics. I've always done what I said I was going to do. Uh,
Well, that
so
might be the most important thing when you see yourself as a comics creator.
oh yeah,
The projects, yeah.
and now I have a story in here. Captain Courage is in here. Actually, I like this story. How this one came out because I actually had time to kind of sit down and plan out what I wanted to say. The other one I like it too because it was my first one, but I mean I made a lot of mistakes. So we're talking about sometimes like it. like when you start off, you don't have experience. Like I was saying, like I'm living proof. Uh, I just jumped into it and ended up in an anthology, and like it may not be the best story in there, but my story is in there, and from there, it's growing. And every time I draw Captain Courage, it just gets better and better.
Mm-hmm.
So I already have a story in mind that I want to tell. Now it's just like sitting down and getting that story out. Uh,
Exactly.
so so like I'm going back to experience and just kind of doing it. You know, we talked about fear a little bit,
Mm.
uh, and not being able to completely conquer it, but you know what, you gotta get over that initial hump. That like, oh, I'm too scared, or like, oh, I don't know what of this or this. You gotta get over that and then jump into it, or start doing. And I mean, like you're saying, like you're if it's not that, it's gonna be something else. Like you're gonna have an obstacle, but it's good. Like continually getting over that obstacle, that hump, that whatever it is, whatever new fear you got coming.
Mm-hmm.
So just pushing through. Like
Yeah.
one of our models that we say, and there is a shirt available in the description below, the Turaco Teespring. Make comics, not excuses, and you can apply that to anything you're doing. Like make web comics, make blogs, write stories. Uh, I don't know, make animations, something, whatever it is you want to do. Like if you really want to do it, then do it. You know. So,
Yeah, and this always sounds so easy. Just do it, and it
I
actually.
know it. Yeah, that the easier part is saying, "Yeah, I'm gonna do this." The hard part is actually doing it because you're gonna fail. You're gonna have obstacles. You're gonna you're gonna fail. I mean, it's but you keep
Or
doing it.
so that you can succeed more.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
Oh
it's
yeah.
almost a solace that you cannot avoid the pain and the failure. You cannot avoid it. So hey, why not jump into it?
Yeah. And we actually reached uh our mark, or we went over the 1 hour mark. So
3 minutes.
Okay.
Wow.
yeah,
It was a great chat. Thank you so much.
yeah.
Yes.
All right. So Styx, where can we find you?
Um, when I'm not hanging around on the discords, yeah, the Styxcolor.com website is my central hub and also houses my art blog where I usually share all the news.
Yes.
Other than that, I'm on Instagram and Twitter, and I'm also looking into, as I said, new platforms, Mastodon Art and Library TV. But those are, yeah, depending on the context, either lesser known or not as established as their mainstream counterparts.
All right. And Styx also has a Gumroad, so you can check that out.
Yeah.
And we got a little festive background. I tried putting up my reef here, uh, so maybe next time I'll actually plug it in so you can actually see that. And Anna, where can we find you? Where can we find your stuff?
On YouTube, Anna Robb, and on Instagram, Anna Robb Arts. And I should update on the link tree because I actually have an art station as well that I'm going to be updating. And I'll be updating a couple of other platforms as well. I
Hey,
just got out of college
congratulations.
this
Yeah,
Monday, and so now I have a little more time on my hands to structure my schedule and update more stuff, get some more work in progresses, and
nice.
really my hope and goal is to start the 100 Days of Making Comics challenge. So I'm thinking I might actually start that this week. because I've been working on constructing a blog in the background too, and I've always been kind of
Okay, cool.
doing blogging. So
Good luck.
things.
All right.
Looking forward to it.
And congratulations to Anna for finishing college. And she had a huge project that she was doing, and she finished it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not subscribed to Anna, you can find her YouTube in the description below. Subscribe. Go over there, subscribe to her, because we got the Bug Cast challenge going on. When we get Anna to 100 subs, and she's almost there, guys. She's just almost there. When we get her to 100 subs, Anna and I are gonna be eating some bugs on a live stream, and we're gonna turn it into a whole show. We're gonna be talking about bugs, different ways to prepare them, the benefits of eating bugs into mythology. All that you want to see that? Subscribe to Anna. Get her to 100 subs.
I should put a creativity spin on it too.
Yeah.
Some more ideas floating around. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us.
All right. Oh, hold on. I gotta promote my stuff too. Hold on. And you can find all my stuff in this link tree. My YouTube channel is there. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. We are on the Turaco Creative Cast YouTube channel. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe here. But you can find my the Turaco Creative Cast Teespring store on there. I believe it's on there, or that might actually be on the Turaco link tree. My Instagram, my BitChute. I got a BitChute, so now I'm like posting videos up on there. And if you want to support the channel, you can drop a donation on the coffee account there, and I'll send you some free PDFs. And I got work some free PDF comics. Well, not free because you're actually kind of paying for it, but I'll send you some. I'll send you some stuff. And I'm gonna work on some a few more so I can add those on there. And thanks to everyone in the chat. So we actually had a pretty good turnout. We had Randy Siplon, which he has a Indiegogo live in the description below. You can find a link to that. You can purchase a Kill Reaver, or you can back Kill Reaver, which I already did, and he's currently working on that comic. We got Jake Twister, aka Stinch Whackbacker. He changed his name. We got Jeremy Birch. We got Nefarious, which he's got a video coming out tomorrow. The Global Frequency Studios YouTube channel, so check that out. That actually might be in the description below too. We got Sideburns. He's also got a YouTube channel, so support these people. Go check out their channels, subscribe to them. Sketchy, he's usually here. He's one of our supporters.
She just
and and I think that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Give this video a like, comment after the video is done. Comment, get the algorithm working. Don't forget, we got the Turaco Christmas art contest going on, which started today. And all the info for that is on the Instagram, so check that out, the Turaco Creative Cast Instagram. Thanks for watching.